going to do an IV start. The supplies that you're going to need are, of course, your gloves. You'll need to perform hand hygiene, have your alcohol pads, your IV start kit that has your tourniquet in it, your saline flush, and here you can see your IV catheters. They're going to be color coded regardless of the manufacturer. So you'll have a green for 18 gauge, blue for 22, 20 gauge will be pink, and of course your 24 gauge is going to be yellow. So the smaller the size, the bigger the number. And now we're going to try and find an adequate vein. You can see we're starting to put the tourniquet on by wrapping it around and pulling the loop through the bottom. And remember, we always want to start to try and find a vein as distal as possible. You want to make sure that the vein is buoyant and that it is straight. And you can see we're applying our hand hygiene, and we are going to start opening up our supplies. So we're going to use an extension tubing, or a J-loop, some will call it. And we're going to use an IV start kit here. So inside this IV start kit, it's going to have our semi-permeable membrane that's going to actually help adhere the IV in place. That's going to be our transparent dressing or tegaderm. It also has usually an iodine betadine prep, your tape, a little 2x2 or a 4x4 sometimes, and alcohol pads. Now you want to make sure on our trainers that you don't use the iodine products on the trainers because they will stain and we can't clean those off. So of course we're going to get the air out of our saline and have that ready to go. And we are going to make sure we prime our tubing with saline, because of course when we go to flush, we don't want to flush air into our patient. And of course this cap is sterile, so we're going to make sure the inside of it stays inside that package, but it's ready to be attached to the patient. And of course all of this is done after you've identified what vein you're going to want to use. Once you know what vein you're going to use, you want to see the appropriate size catheter. So our choice here is going to be the 20 gauge IV catheter. And this is where we would once again apply the tourniquet back to the patient and make sure we have our site cleaned very well. And as we go to insert it, we're going to make sure we stabilize the vein by holding the vein with pressure below where we're going to insert it. And we're going to insert it with the bevel side up. See, you can make sure that we are identifying that the bevel is on the up side. And we're going to insert it at this 10 to 30 degree angle until we get that flashback. And as we get that flashback of blood, we're going to insert and advance the IV catheter as close to the skin as you can. And now we're just occluding the tip of the catheter to make sure it does not bleed back onto the patient. And here we always want to check by patency by getting a little bit of flashback, and now we're flushing the IV. We're going to make sure that we clamp the tubing of the extension set, and then make sure we secure it by whatever protocol the hospital has. Some hospitals will want you to tape just across the catheter like that. Some of them will want you to apply the tegaderm directly to it. Now these tegaderms don't stick to our trainers very well, as you're going to see here, but you want to make sure that you apply it all the way around, and on regular skin it sticks very well. And even patients that are allergic to adhesive usually respond well to the tegaderms. And ideally, on that little tab that is left from the tegaderm, you're going to write the date that you are inserting the IV and your initials, and you're going to apply that to the tubing so that way every nurse knows when it was actually inserted. Now we're removing the IV, so we're going to take off all of the tape and make sure that you keep the IV catheter stabilized while you're taking the tape off, because it will pull out sometimes. And if you pull out against the skin, you can actually cause pain and damage to the patient. So as we're removing this, we want to make sure we're looking at that insertion site, make sure there's no signs of infection, removing it, holding pressure, and making sure that the catheter is removed intact. You want to make sure that no piece has broken off from the catheter and gotten left behind in the patient. So holding pressure, applying some tape, and assessing afterwards.